Good afternoon, I'm Sean Yao, and this is One News Now. The LTFRB says it is not anticipating a transportation crisis come June 30, the deadline for the PUV modernization program. Board Technical Division Head Joel Bolano said that for now, the agency is making sure that the consolidation of PUJ drivers goes smoothly. He clarified that all those who will join a cooperative or a corporation will still be allowed to operate whether or not they own a traditional jeepney unit.
Hindi naman ibig sabihin na pagka sumali ka, ipapalit ka na agad ng unit. Based on the MC issued by the board, kapag sumali ka, even traditional ka pa rin, you can still continue to operate. Ang ina-address lang muna ng board is the first component, which is the industry consolidation.
And the National Grid Corporation of the Philippines is warning of tight power supply this summer. The transmission operator expects demand for electricity this year to surpass last year's peak load in May. Luzon is expected to have the thinnest power supply from April to June due to historically high demand during the summer months. Despite this, case projections do not show the need to issue yellow or red alerts between March and April. Nevertheless, the NGCP is calling on energy officials to ensure adequate supply. Moving on to other stories, the Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines will look into the cause of the Cessna 340 crash at the Mayon volcano. CAAP spokesperson Eric Apolonio admits that they are also puzzled as to how the aircraft ended up near the volcano since this is not part of the flight path from Bicol to Manila. Apolonio explained that the flight path could have changed on the pilot's discretion if there was a shift in the wind's direction. If lapses are found on the pilot's part, sanctions could be imposed on the operator of the Cessna plane.
Marami yung factors, especially doon sa ganitong aksidente, marami talaga yung status ng maintenance ng engine ng aeroplano, yung weather during the time na nangyari aksidente, yung piloto, yung kanyang service record. There are a lot to consider. Kaya talagang minsan tumatagal ang investigasyon. Pero may mga instances naman tayo na madali. Pero on this case, iba itong nature ng aksidente. Hindi sumunod sa flight path. Isa yan sa titingnan natin kung paano, bakit nangyari.
We're pausing for a quick break, but we will be back with more stories after that. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. Senators tackled issues concerning Philippine cinema yesterday, among them the controversial film Plane and the proposal to expand the mandate of the NTRCB. Mayan Los Baños with the details.
I stand with
No,
you.
pumapalakpak ka. Bawal dito. This is my hearing.
Humihingi ako ng paumanhin. I agree with you. Yung nilirespeto ko yung naramdaman mo.
Senator Robin Padilla lost his cool during a Senate hearing this afternoon when the discussion centered on Hollywood film Plane. In the hearing, Senator Grace Poe argued that films like Plane are only fictional and should not be banned just because they hurt some of our institutions.
Meron naman tayong mga pantapat dyan. At katulad nga na sinabi nyo, itong si 300 na aktor dito sa pelikulang Plane, meron din siyang ginawang London Has Fallen, no? Parang gano'n na pelikula. Akala mo parang mga inutil rin yung mga security forces dyan sa UK, di ba? But we know that's not necessarily true.
Directors Guild of the Philippines President Edward Mayley applauded Poe's statement, but Senator Padilla was offended.
Maaring sa iyo, nakakapalakpak kayo. Pero kami, sa mga Muslim, hindi kami kailangan magpapalakpak. The Muslims will never accept na this movie.
The Directors Guild of the Philippines earlier released a statement opposing the movie's ban, saying it should be allowed in cinemas to invite open debate among viewers. MTRCB Chairman Lala Soto Antonio said her agency has immediately contacted the film's distributor over Padilla's concerns, but she clarified that they do not have to ban the film anymore as the distributor voluntarily pulled the movie out.
It means you will not be able to watch it anymore in the country because, again, I reiterate, I'm glad that the distributor was very cooperative.
Also during the hearing, senators also discussed supposedly pornographic content of some videos on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and other online platforms. Poe complained about YouTube having a lack of representatives here in the country to answer the complaints about its content.
Paano natin yan mapipigilan? Meron bang direct communication ang YouTube office dito sa Pilipinas o lahat or wala?
Sa kasalukuyan po, wala po kaming access. But we will assert kapag kinakailangan.
The MTRCB says it supports bills to expand its mandate to cover subscription video on-demand service providers like Netflix, Disney Plus, and HBO Max or Viva Max. While they admit that they could not monitor all movies in these platforms, they can at least address complaints.
Hindi po ibig sabihin na kapag kami po ay humihingi ng expansion to our mandate as to the scope, ay ire-review ang lahat ng mga online streaming na pelikula. Wala po kami sinasabing ganon. That is humanly impossible for us to do. What we want is a form of monitoring when we can just post-review sa pamamagitan ng pag-entertain ng mga concerns.
Soto Antonio also revealed that a memorandum of agreement has been signed between the agency and Filipino streaming platform Viva Max. Under the agreement, Viva Max vowed to conform to MTRCB's classification system as they continue to self-regulate. A liaison officer will also be assigned to receive any complaints from the MTRCB. Soto meanwhile clarifies that they do not wish to cover user-generated content on YouTube and other platforms like TikTok. But if these will be placed under their mandate, then the agency would need additional manpower and budget. For some groups, there is no need to expand the coverage of MTRCB, and what should be encouraged instead is self-regulation.
Dapat talaga buwagin na yung MTRCB. Our position is to leave it as is. For talking about Philippine values, I think one of our major values is freedom of expression, and it is in the Constitution, which it is in the constitutional Bill of Rights.
But Soto Antonio defends the importance of the MTRCB to make sure that Filipino values are being promoted in movies and TV shows. Reporting for News 5, Mayan Los Baños, we are One News.
Here is a quick look at today's other top stories. Oil industry sources are expecting a rollback in pump prices next week. Diesel could be slashed by as much as 1 peso and 70 centavos per liter. For gasoline, prices could be cheaper by 70 centavos to 1 peso a liter. Ayala Land and representatives of the Make It Safer Makati movement have agreed to keep the protected bike lanes along Ayala Avenue in Makati City. This is after several advocates protested the planned move to turn all bike lanes in the bustling business district into shared lanes. Several fishermen met with officials from the Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources, or BFAR, to oppose dredging and reclamation projects in the Manila Bay. According to fishermen, a number of fish cages have been destroyed because of these projects, which has affected their output. For its part, the BFAR has promised to hold more consultations with stakeholders and take the matter up with the DENR. For more updates, visit News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on Signal Play. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News Live anytime, anywhere. I am Sean Yao. We are One News.